a retro gamer and hobbyist artist with a lot of nerve. Crolister, the master of ponage. Hi guys, Crolister here with the 4th episode of Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green Let's Play. In this episode, we will be taking on Rock Tunnel and the 4th gym in Celadon City. Just a quick comment starting this episode up. Battling every single trainer on the way in a video recording, going part by part, might not be such a good idea. Because that's the only reason this video's over an hour long. After you get cut, you can go to the east of Celadon City, onwards towards the Rock Tunnel. There's an unavoidable trainer here. That's not the kind of Pokemon I really want to start with. Seriously, why does the Oddish have to be so annoying? Alright, now we can progress. With a hiker, I'd be much better to start with Wartortle against him. For sure. Only problem is this one starts with a Machop, which is not exactly a type disadvantage against me. That's better. I'll make short work of this. See what we got over here. Aerial Ace. Nice. Aerial Ace is literally the exact same move as Wing Attack, except that it never misses. Quite useful if you're going up against opponents that like to lower your accuracy or increase their evasion. Just like Shockwave. It does have fewer power points than Wing Attack, though. Finally, a bug catcher that actually uses Beedrill. Great, fire types. That'll be easy for Wartortle. level up. Charmander, nice. It's a bit over-leveled. Shouldn't it be a Charmeleon by now? Find my way around and making sure I'm not missing any items. See what this is. Burn heal. Let's see if there's a hidden item here. Indeed there is, an ether. I got the item finder off recording, just so you know. So if I really wanted to do item dowsing, I could, at any point in the game from here. In some cases, it can be useful. Alright, so I was recklessly running around and landed right in front of a bug catcher before I could swap to Pidgeotto. Like a Caterpie's gonna stand a chance anyway. I also have a Hypno now that I'll be using. Hypno learns the attack Psychic at level 35, which you pretty much need in order to confront Koga, the 5th gem. So, we'll see if a Hypno will do any good for me there. Rattata with Quick Attack. And Ekans with Intimidates. You know how much I love that combination. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter loads now, since I actually have a Psychic type. And an unnecessary critical hits. At least the hikers are easy for a Squirtle playthrough. Level up. I'll be having a Blastoise very soon. First Meowth of the game. In the original Game Boy games, Meowth and Mankey were version exclusives, with Mankey in red and Meowth in blue. You can get both in both games in Fire Red and Leaf Green, though. And then, of course, once you get access to Surf and have the Soul Badge, you can surf to the Kanto Power Plant where a legendary Pokemon is waiting for you. I intend to save legendary Pokemon for its own video. Lovely, a Pikachu. With Quick Attack. Seriously, I hate fighting other Pokemon with priority moves. I mean, doesn't everyone? Remember, there's no Fairy type in this game, so Clefairy is a normal type. Alright, so we are at the part of the game people dread the most. The cave where you need to have the hidden move Flash. Why am I even bothering to interface with the bookshelves? Not a single one of them has had a trainer special yet for the Fame Seeker. You might have to beat the game before that happens. This is one of Professor Oak's assistants. And if you've caught a score of different Pokemon, he will give you an Everstone, a holding item that prevents the Pokemon holding it from evolving. That can be useful in a few cases, though I prefer to just let my Pokemon grow so I can really progress in the game with the Pokédex and whatnot, as I really need. And you can also, of course, use the Everstone to be a dirty craphead troller like one of the in-game trades in Diamond and Pearl does, if you wanted to take people off. Alright, so I taught Flash to Oddish as well. Flash is a move you have to be extremely careful with what Pokemon you give it, because it's like one of the worst moves you could ever teach a Pokemon for battling. Besides being permanent as a hidden machine move goes, it also has 70% accuracy, on top of being a non-attack move, which is awful. So, hidden machine slaves only with that move. That's a Pokemaniac. I interpreted it to be like a super nerd. So, whatever. Slowpoke is a favorite among the Pokemaniacs, for some reason. I will be navigating the whole tunnel and battling every single trainer while collecting items. At least the interior of Rock Tunnel is pretty linear as opposed to the different routes with different items in it that Mountain Moon has. There are trainers on trainers in this tunnel. So there's going to be a number of trainer battles beyond what some people watching this video can probably tolerate. Those brown rocks can be broken once you get the move Rock Smash after you beat Sabrina's gym, and I just caught him a chop. If you should encounter an Onyx in this cave, you shouldn't expect to catch those with a normal Pokeball, so try Great Balls. Why did I not switch my Pokemon? Like with previous episodes, I will be skipping wild Pokemon encounters for the video. There's no need for those to be in the YouTube vid. Like I said, the Oddish line is a nuisance in battle. I have some paralyzed heals on me. I used one just then and continued. He's actually got Charmander. Nice. Charmander and Cubone. Bit of a peculiar combination. Because, there's been a lot of theories about Cubone and its backstory in the Pokédex, about how it's an orphan of supposedly a Kangaskhan, and some people even think Charizard. Though it'd be a bit weird since Cubone's tail obviously isn't on fire, and its body does look a bit different from Charmander's in details. I think it being an orphan of Kangaskhan is more likely, Because in Pokemon Sun and Moon, Cubone and Kangaskhan can appear simultaneously in SOS chains. And it looks a bit more like a Kangaskhan Joey than it does a Charmander. So, that's what I personally think. Of course, the critics would say, oh, its parents are just a Marowak and possibly a Ditto. That's video game logic, people. Video games have details that may not make sense compared to real life. I thought about trying to use a Marowak in this playthrough later after I get the Pokeflute, which will have to be in the next episode from this one. Way too many trainer battles in one video. That could be useful if I needed a ground type that wasn't a piece of crap like Dugtrio is. Though I might not necessarily need it for the rest of the playthrough, because it's not like I'm gonna encounter many good electric types later, after Lieutenant Surge. And I got a psychic type for the poison type gen that Koga is. I leveled it up high enough to learn psychic off camera more recently. I got all my Pokemon to level 38 as of this recording. After I did the recording, I mean. So I'm coming prepared. After one more level up, I will have a Blastoise. Let's go. Why waste valuable ammo if you can make do with weaker moves that'll OHKO 'em? I need to work on Pidgeotto more than Wartortle right now, technically, because, you know, Erika's gen is grass types, and type matchups, you know. Pidgeotto also evolves at level 36. So I got a little ways off still. More hikers. These will be a lot more annoying to go up against if Sturdy works like it does in Gen 5 and onward. Escape rope, that could be useful after you, catch the legendary Pokemon I hinted at earlier. Some of them. The first Graveler. Unavoidable picnicker. Jigglypuff, lovely. Those have decent vitality, you know. Alright, good. Now we got a Pidgey with quick attack. Ugh. And then at least the Meowth will be easy. I just turn, and I get a wild encounter. This youngster's not a trainer. He's a mood tutor. After knocking out the wild Pokemon and getting Wartortle leveled up. Here we go. Fantastic. There's a Maxether. I was just looking to see what was in the area going up. Just a bunch of rocks you can break once you get Rock Smash. Unnecessary crits. Only some Rock Smash rocks. better Bellsprout than Oddish, though. I know just what to use here. What, you're not an unavoidable? Well, I'm gonna fight her anyway, because I need experience and I need money. Pidgey. Does it have quick attack? Yes, why wouldn't it? At least I can use the right Pokemon on this. At least I didn't get hit with quick attack from the Rattata for a change. The former or the latter. Alright, moving forward. Pearl, you can sell that for a light sum. Thank you for not having Oddish first. Another Pidgey with effing quick attack. Alright, let's see what's to the left here. There might be a hidden item if you use the item finder. What I know for sure is my Pokemon are very battle-weary, and we still have some more trainers just before we get to Lavender Town. More Pidgey! With quick attack! At least this will be better for experience gain. We have some hikers down here. Those are much better for water type. There might be a hidden item here if I really looked. One more trainer, and I can finally get to a Pokemon Center. Level up for Pikachu. That's not going to be necessary. It's already plenty fast. Alright, so from here we can finally access Lavender Town, where Pokemon Tower is. You shouldn't go there though until after you deal with Team Rocket and Celadon, because you need the self-scope in order to progress. That was much needed. It's a little worse than I remembered. Random bonus fact about Lavender Town. In the original Japanese Red and Green, the music sounded a bit more distorted than it does in the international Red and Blue, and the Japanese Pokemon Blue as well. And it is believed, though not exactly for sure, that it caused some people to get so freaked out that they possibly took their lives. I've listened to the original Red and Green track for Lavender Town once, and it just sounded like Lavender Town's music horribly distorted. Though it's still probably a good idea that they refined the song so that it wouldn't sound like that internationally. Ironically, yes, I do believe in ghosts, an extent. This, I believe, is the name raider. If you get Pokemon nicknames, you can have him change your Pokemon's name if it's not that good. And there's the Orphan Cubone. Yes, we can finally buy Great Balls. I'm gonna get a set. Alright, so, this is the route you would go to go south and back to Vermilion City, though obviously you have the problem of the Snorlax blocking the road. So you can't really go that direction in the Fuchsia City, or even Vermilion City from that route until, you get the Poke Flute after doing what you need to do, after getting the Silph Scope, after doing what you need to do in Celadon. This girl gives you a track. No. This girl gives you a return, if you talk to her. Alright, so from here, we're supposed to go west of Lavender Town. And on this route, there are trainers, and trainers still. Just like Rock Tunnel itself. And I am gonna battle all of them in this video. Obviously. Clefairy's got a lot of health on it. Alright, good. At least now I can whip out the Primate on her. That's no problem. Unnecessary critical hits. Speaking of Growlithe and Vulpix, this route and the tiny route just to the east of Celadon, where you go into Celadon from the underground path, have Growlithe and Vulpix. Growlithe in Fire Red and Vulpix in Leaf Green, if you're looking for one of them. Just make sure you level them up plenty high before you use a Firestone on them. Because if you evolve them with the Evo Stone, they will not learn moves after evolving, which is a bit of a pain. The Eeveelutions are an exception to that rule, as are just a few others. Alright, that's gonna be annoying. He even has a Muck, which is not convenient for where I'm at right now. You wonder why I'm afraid of Koga? You'll see why. Muck is incredibly bulky, as you can see, and Koga's Muck has Minimize, which will essentially stop you from being able to land hits on them, which is not fun to deal with at all. Like I said, Hypno learns Psychic. Unnecessary quits. Should have happened one turn ago. Hypno learns Psychic at level 35, so it doesn't have much longer from where it's at in the video. And I got that off camera after I recorded. With some more leveling up from there, maybe I'll stand a chance. And if I'm really that desperate, I could use Shockwave and Aerial Ace on some of my others. I didn't teach Aerial Ace to my Pidgeotto, even after I evolved into Pidgeot and confronted Erika, just because it has the same exact power as Wing Attack. So here's the game's very first double battle. And a common pair for these is Clefairy and Jigglypuff. Together, they can be quite a mess. remember Unavoidable, Twins, and Heart Gold and Soul Silver. With the Clefable and the Wigglytuff that use back-to-back Encore and then Disable on your strongest Pokemon, which is not fair at all. Follow Me didn't really help much, huh? Ran right in front of the guy's face. Coughing is a lot less annoying than Grimer, since they're not as bulky. Just keep in mind that coughing and wheezing have levitate, so they're immune to ground types. Yes, these are all trainers, and yes, I am battling all of them. More Pidgey. At least that one didn't use Quick Attack on me. Now we got a Pikachu. And, as always, it does use Quick Attack on me. Another Quick Attack! Unnecessary quicks. Can't really use a fighting type on that whatsoever. At least the Meowths are easy. Meow. She actually has a neat arena. Alright, down here we have bikers. Bikers like poison types. Pretty much every single one of them has the grimer line or the coughing line. Which are far from the kind of Pokemon I would like to hang out with in person because of their foul smell, how poison they are. For some reason, though, bikers love their grimers and coughings. There, one level after this, and Hypno will learn the move Psychic, which you'll need for inflicting damage. We're still not done with trainer battles. There's only one more. After that, we can finally progress. That's enough trainer battles outside of Celadon City Gym for one episode, I think it's safe to say. The Team Rocket battle and Pokemon Tower are gonna have to wait until another episode. Now again, you can't access Saffron City yet, so we're gonna have to go through the underground path. Alright, here's some information about Celadon City you're gonna need to know after I heal up. Both the gem and what you need to do to confront Team Rocket are available as soon as you enter this city. This is the Celadon Mansion, which has some very important details you need to know. First of all, in Fire Red and Leaf Green, you want to go to the first floor and interface with the old woman, and she'll give you a special drink. Once you have that, you can go into the gates into Saffron City, and the police officer will take it and drink it, saying he'll share it with the other guards, which is gross, by the way. And then you can access Saffron City from there. I accidentally did that off camera while I was grinding. The department store has some very useful items that you can buy. Pokemon drinks for effort values, even evolution stones. Make sure to check it out once you get the chance. Right here is a restaurant. Go into the very back of the room and talk to the man at the corner, you see, the upper left corner, and he will give you the coin case. Once you have it, you can play the slot machines and buy coins. You can exchange the coins you earn or purchase for various prizes. And here's the completely useless hotel. Like, why did they even put this in here? Alright, I'm just gonna go for Celadon Gem. Cut is required in order to access it. Before that, though, I completely forgot that I did this. You want to go into the back of Celadon Mansion. And just go up the stairs. Into this building. And there's a blackboard that'll show you stuff. And you can get the Pokemon Eevee. Be very wise about which one of the 3 evolutions you want to evolve it with. Most people prefer Jolteon and deem Flareon to be garbage, and it should be noted you cannot get Espeon or Umbreon even in the post-game, since Fire Red and Leaf Green doesn't have the clock mechanic. Alright, so let's take on Celadon City Gym. I'm gonna have to rely on Pidgeotto for this, since Blastoise is at a type disadvantage. Unnecessary crits. She actually has a weeping bell. Nice. There are a lot of trainers in this gym as well, and some of them can be avoided. Just remember, cut is required for this gym. Unnecessary crits. This one has an execute, and it's bulkier than the previous ones you saw. As you can see. Five Pokemon, huh? Lovely. One more level up, and Pidgeotto will finally evolve. There's one more trainer besides the gym leader. The fact that there's some Ivysaurs in this gym is pretty convenient on the value of gaining experience points. Fantastic. Alright, now we take on Erika herself. The victory bell's not really that scary, as it isn't very bulky. The same cannot be said about her vowed plume. Tangella's not a threat at all. Alright, now, Vileplume is not a pushover. I complained enough about how annoying Oddish can be to battle against. Vileplume is that amplified. And of course, it has moves like Stun Spore and Sleep Powder, which make it even worse. Still not enough, and still no such luck as a miss. Now I'm put to sleep. Well, I'm not messing around here. Enough. Alright, so we have the Rainbow Badge now. Traded Pokemon will obey up to level 50, and you can use Strength outside the battle after you obtain it from Fuchsia City. Way too many trainer battles in one episode. We're gonna have to wait until the next episode to take on Team Rocket in the Celadon Game Corner. Consider subscribing, or at least checking out my channel if you like any of the franchises listed, because I play and talk about them a lot and want to continue doing so for my channel. I am a hobbyist artist that makes fan art of different game characters and franchises I like, and will occasionally come out with Let's Plays of mostly retro games I have that I feel like are worth playing for sport on my channel. I have quite a lot in mind, so consider checking me out if you're interested. Stay tuned in a week or so for part 5 of the Fire Red and Leaf Green Let's Play, and plenty more content from there. I am Crolister, Master of Ponage. Thanks for watching, stay tuned for more, and I will see you guys very soon.